Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Butcher's Block Rejuvenation Project. Changed my mind on one thing. I'm going to go even bigger legs. Other timbers that I had put aside as well, along with those. This thing is just too big. I don't think they will suffice as very, very strong legs. And so they will help me frame these legs together. So yeah, today I'm going to be working on cutting these down to the length I need and beginning to muck around with the framing. Like I said, I'm making it up as I go, so you know, I'm prepared to make all manner of mistakes. Time to get the saw set up and get these legs cut. Such a dense piece of old timber. Look at the shine. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, well, I've got my legs cut at a totally brand new length to what I was planning, mainly because I made a mistake of cutting one of them 30mm too short. So then I had to cut the other three 30mm off to match. But that doesn't matter because the heavy duty, I think, steel wheels that I'll be putting on the base of this will definitely give it a lot more height. But I now have them all done, and I have to take these other timbers and create my top and bottom frames to bring all this together. Somebody say medieval drink coasters? Different day, still part 3. Yesterday I was interrupted with a phone call that my Syncro, my Volkswagen camper van, was ready to pick up. Vanagon, to anyone in the US, if anyone's watching this. I'd blown a clutch slave cylinder and I needed that fixed. Plus I got a tune and service and a couple of things looked at the same time. Got it back, running great. So anyway, so I got my legs cut, and so far I've had a few comments, suggestions on what I should or should not be doing. I'll take it all on board, but like I say, I'm making it up as I go and kind of following a little design plan in my head that you know, is haphazard at best. In lieu of having any timber clamps, good old ratchet strap. Now I'm going to use 150mm hex head bit screws. I do have about 95 to 100mm in some cases to get through these legs, and so I need to get a good bite into there. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start with the bottom one for each one. I'm going to diagonally place them, going each way, and I'll get all that done first, and then I'll move on to the top. I decided they needed a little bit of countersinking action. Looks better below the surface. Than on the surface. So I'll have to redo that one. Well, that took a little bit of time. Driving into this 100-year-old redwood, hardwood timber. These were the house stumps that came out of the house that I demolished in Ballarat before I built a new one. I had the guy demolishing the house use his jaws to rip every one of these out. Found that they were in excellent condition for 100 years in the dirt. And I cut up a heap of them for excellent firewood, but then I kept some special items knowing that I was going to be doing this one day. And driving a drill bit into it, it's like driving into concrete sometimes. And in fact, I actually did hit concrete. Well, not concrete, steel. I drove straight into one of the cross screws. So I had to, reorientate that one. But I've got those 150mm heavy gauge screws, driving 2 apiece in each side, and it's super strong. I've got it to this stage now. I do have the matching bottom rails. They match each one of those, and they're all marked to suit each one. So yeah, that'll be my next task. I have braced it with, it's temporarily screwed to the block, and I've used brace blocks inside. I cheated, I used pine, but hey, who's going to see it? So it's square to the block, not necessarily square. Square to the block. Makes perfect sense. Coffee. New travel mug. Holds almost 2 cups, I think. Previously, on the Butcher's Block Rejuvenation project, we had completed the top rails of the frame. So now we need to move on to the bottom rails, get them all fixed, and then we can move on to working out how we'll fix this basket to the bottom rails down below. I'm still open to other basket ideas presenting themselves. However, I really do like the look of this one. It's got that old look, that old world charm. But anyway, that's one thing. Let's get to it. Coffee. Go away, Mozzie. Good stuff. Okay, I have my first rail placed. Trusty old ratchet strap holding it in place. I really do have to get out and buy some clamps. I've marked my first hole and I'm ready to drill. And I really hope this drill bit gets me through all this. It's the only one I have. Otherwise I'll have to go and buy another one. Oh well. Alright. If you want to know how I'm reasonably accurately drilling straight, I'm using my eye. My eye has, been out of level on occasion in the past, but I pretty much trust it. Look, level, straight. What could possibly go wrong? Getting a little smoky. Nice. We need to countersink. Countersink bit. It's right here. Super blunt too, and busted. Somebody gave me this, so it's second hand. Got to get another one of these. In fact, I should have countersinked first. That would have created my hole. That's roughly where I want it. Very blunt. Alright, first screw of the day. All good. First one done. Well folks, it's coming along. I've now finished the top and bottom cross rails. As you can see, I had to basically bite the bullet to go out and buy some proper clamps and clamp it up so I could get it reasonably square. At one point there I was looking down the line of legs and I could see one kind of like that and one like that, and it was pretty weird. So I clamped it diagonally, pulled it in, and I also did the bracing blocks as well inside the top rail area. So that is now all completed as far as framing it goes. You know, there's a lot more yet to think about, but that's basically the structure. Still, of course, got to have my board that travels across here and around to frame out the top of the block. Have a look at this chunkathon. I mean, this is chunky. As I was framing this, these cross rails together, you'll see that I have a few open gaps. These were cut square. However, again, the legs do all kinds of things basically. To avoid that, I would have had to put it through a thicknesser or, you know, something like that. But that's really beside the point, because I want someone to walk up to it basically and think that it hasn't just been done, it's been like this for 100 years. And you know, 100 years of wear and tear and use is going to throw things out of whack. So, yeah. Otherwise, I am loving it. How chunky is it? It really wouldn't look out of place in some kind of medieval epic film. Hell, even the Flintstones. Although they were mostly rock and stone. They were in the Stone Age, you know. I have no idea how many episodes this will go for, but I do believe that we have got a major part of the construction out of the way. That being this entire base frame. And I have to say it's looking fantastic. It was a little bit dicey there for a while. Everything was out of whack, going everywhere. Jack Elam would have, you know, just gone, everything's cool. Do an image search of Jack Elam, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's coming along, folks. I hope you're enjoying the ride. This is probably the part of a burgeoning YouTube channel where one would say, please like and subscribe to the channel. Help me build it in some way. Because being that it's called Doing Stuff, I couldn't zero in on exactly what it was that I wanted to, you know, focus on or have a main theme. But I guess the main theme is doing stuff, getting out, not just sitting around and wasting time inside. Not to say that inside pursuits aren't always a waste of time, but I've got many interests, and you know, I like to get out on the kayak and do that kind of thing, go van camping and getting out and about. But also I love being at home and being able to do this stuff. It's only work that gets in the way. So yeah, stick around. I would say we're not too far off the end. Take care.